Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video. That's right, this series is going to be kinda daily for the most part, so I am gonna try to get one episode out a day and kind of explain to you what's going on. Today, however, we're gonna quickly go ahead and go over here. I'm gonna quickly do a soul search, because apparently Grimjow and Aizen are two people that are inside this, as well as Kensei, and I believe Shinji is in here somewhere, maybe not. I don't know, I don't see him. Kensei, Grimjow, and Aizen are inside here, which I need one of them anyway. So we're going to go ahead and blow this. Hope that we get someone good. We got Momo. Which is actually a really bad thing, because today's video we're based on trying to tell you guys about a thing that me and the Discord are working on. Now, if you actually want to join the Discord, the link is in the description now. So you can go ahead and join that and help us make a community based around this game and kind of have some good fun. Now, I decided to make my own tier list. But then someone else named Cute. Oh God, I have to. This is gonna be super painful to say. I'm sorry, but like, Cute Kawaii Neko. I respect that name. The resident lolly licker of the Discord. It's fantastic. Decided to expand on the list and kind of get rid of the. So I made the list based on SS tier, S tier, A, B, C, D, F. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go through the S tier on their list and kind of tell you about that, because I think they do have a lot of really good points, and they kind of have the general reasons why the characters are good. Like, obviously, Ichigo is going to be the top here, because when Ichigo becomes stronger, he hits rank 10. As he goes beyond rank 10, I believe rank 12, he form changes again to Dangai Ichigo, which is obviously the strongest character in the general series for the most. Well, I don't know. It's kind of this weird thing. He's just a really good character. He has Mugetsu, which is really amazing in PvP. I do find that it has a hard reset, and if you don't have any characters that pick up the enemy after they get hit by Mugetsu, it does go a little bit badly. But if you have characters that can pick up, like Yamamoto or Aizen or anything like that, he's fantastic. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. Now he has a huge amount of damage, allows teammates to combo off. PvE is amazing as well. Second skill is guaranteed to hit as long as it's near the enemy, meaning this attack is actually a lot worse in this version. His attack when he does it as the Dangai, which I don't have yet, he's actually a lot better and does a lot more, so he does a lot of work. Byakuya, personally, I said that he is S tier until he hits rank 13, which is a new thing on AWAKEDEATH, where you can go beyond rank 12 and get another form change for Byakuya. Now if I go ahead and scroll down to him, he becomes the Lost Agent version of himself, which allows him to do a lot more attacks, which have a lot more AoE, do a lot more damage and stuff like that. So I said that as a rank 13, he was SS tier, but on this list just says S tier, because even without the rank 13, the thing that's super OP, he's amazing, super tanky. Gets his third ability off, helps to combo, and also he's invincible while he does it. There's the third attack. I can't show it up here, can I? No. So that attack actually turns into his Bankai, where it goes down on the ground and like does really cool stuff. It's great. Knocks up buses for a long time, just like Ichigo, and has an emergency button in case of fatal damage, meaning if he's about to get killed and he uses the Bankai, he won't get hit, and he's just going to be able to do good shit. Similar to Ryuken. Here you can see his Springer, his J. Schneider attack. He does the thing, and he goes invulnerable, and it hits all the enemies. It's really, really strong. And then Yamamoto is another one of those ones that's really good. Personally, I have him SS tier for myself, because I said that he's really hard to obtain. However, I think that even if he's hard to obtain, you can do your dailies to be able to get him, and he's just such a good unit. We'll go ahead and see his attacks here. I can show them off. We have the Taimatsu, which the description's super long, but basically he just creates a giant tornado that ignores defenses and ups his attack. So that's insane. Then he has two pillars in his second attack, and his third attack does a full screen attack, and that's only on rank 4 out of the entirety of what he can become. If he hits rank 12 or 13 when he form changes, it's 12 on the Chinese version, it's 13 on this version when that version comes out. He is goddamn insane. He can AoE continuously, he can burn the enemy and do insane amounts of damage. He's just a really, really good character. Even if you're not really sure about getting him, definitely pursue him no matter what. He is definitely one of the characters that is just like, oh, you're at the end game? Well, here's the character you need. So it's definitely an important thing. And another one that's really important, that's really good, that is basically impossible to get, is Ukiura. You can only get his unit, his like shards via the Duel of Fate, which you need to have his character be able to do that, and Ryokyu search, which is basically become VIP level 13, and then you're able to scout for his character shards, which is a small chance of getting that. You can only do one every day, I believe. Basically, he's impossible to get. However, at rank 12, he has invulnerability on every single one of his skills. He does insane amounts of damage, huge burst. He's amazing for both PvE and PvP. However, trying to get him to that point right now is going to be goddamn impossible, and they might be adding him to the paid service soon, but you have to spend at least $300, otherwise you won't be able to get him to anywhere near like purple, which is like rank 6. It's rough. It's really, really rough, but he's definitely a really good unit in general. Then for the rest of these, I'm just going to go through my own tiers. I think that for the most part, I could just kind of go through these. I don't think this list is going to help me with these ones, because I have a lot of personal preferences, and I talked about it with the Discord a lot. So on my S tier, I went ahead and put Soifon, mostly because she's a worse version of Yoruichi up until, oh my god, the headset beep. Up until rank 9, she's a worse version of Yoruichi, and she's awful. She's actually a really bad character. She kind of has some good AoEs. Well, not even AoEs, just kind of has tornadoes. But she's not that great. But once she hits rank 10, her third strong attack turns into a nuke. Basically, she can do 1,000,000 damage in one attack, and that crushes everything in your fucking path. So that's definitely one of the characters that I find worth investing. However, I do realize that in general, it is a large investment, so she's not the best for early game. However, when you're starting to get to that point where all your characters are turning into purple, I would say invest in her immediately. Like on Spiritual Awakening, I'm starting to invest in her after I get Byakuya up, because obviously she's going to be amazing. I also have Zangetsu here. I don't actually have him as a character, but I've seen his attacks. If I can go ahead and find him. Yeah, so Zangetsu, I've seen his attacks, and they're actually really good. If I go ahead and show them off here. Katsuga Spiral. So it's a takedown attack, which means it knocks people down. And what it also does is when he does it, his normal attacks will hit further. It's a very small increase, but it's definitely a thing that you can keep in mind. Katsuga Rush. Basically, he knocks them up and then hits them down, or like, hits them forward with the attack, which means he can juggle enemies really well. This one's just called Zangetsu. Basically, full screen invulnerability attack. It's really strong, and the Zangetsu can easily link into Katsuga Rush, which doing that does a hell of a lot of damage. Typically, you're going to want teams that are based on keeping the enemy in the air if you want to use them for PvP. For example, this Zangetsu works well with Ichigo. He works well with, I'd say, Byakuya, Gin, one of those characters that are based on keeping enemies in the air. As you know, Gin, he slices them up and then shoots them like that, so it's just a good time. Characters he doesn't mesh well with is like Momo, but she's just awful. He doesn't mesh well with Tosen. There's a lot of characters that it just kind of doesn't really work out too well. Aizen is one of those ones that I was personally trying to put in SS tier, but everyone kind of universally agreed on a thing where they were like, he's hard to get, and it's once you get him, he's one of the strongest characters you can have. However, to level him up properly, to be able to get to beyond level 30, you have to get his Zanpakuto. In order to get to his Zanpakuto, you need to be at chapter 8, episode 6 at least. And if you're not, it's going to be impossible for you to grind his Zanpakuto, and thus he will slowly fade down in your power list until you're able to get that to that point. And in these games, after playing for like 20 days at this point, I have not gotten to the point where I can grind out his Zanpakuto. It starts to get really hard around like chapter 7 normal, and if you're trying to get to chapter 8 elite to be able to grind this out, it's going to take a while. It's definitely going to take a hot minute. However, his attacks are amazing once you are able to get to that point and be able to get him stronger. Like his Kurohitsugi. I go ahead and show this here. So Kurohitsugi, it's one of those things that's really strong. Plus, it picks enemies up. So, for example, if they're on the ground laying down, you can, and they're not flashing yet, like the invulnerable thing, you can do it up. It hits them, picks them up, and it's just really, really strong. This thing, it does like an AoE, or, well, not even an AoE, a little like group around him. However, it'll do a bunch of combos around him, and you can combo into Kurohitsugi, or you can combo into, while they're falling down or while they're on the ground, Garganta, which will hit them stun them, and the Manos Grande will shoot them while they're stunned, which is amazing when you're trying to do a pickup team. He stuns them on the ground until they get hit by that, and then when they get picked up by the explosion, the other characters can start comboing them out of that. Plus, this combos really well into either of these attacks, especially if you knock them on the ground and keep them on the ground, then use Kira Itsugi. When you're using Garganta, you also get your cooldown back, so it's just a really good combo of like, oh, this is back, and this is back, and this is back, and you take damage. I think he also has a Kido, which increases his Riryoku, which increases his combo potential even more. So in general, he's just a really good character. He also has a passive, which allows him to gain more MP faster. He's just a really fucking good character, both for PvE and PvP. I think he is one of the strongest. I think he's definitely in the top 5 in the game, if not top 3. I just think that he's really, really strong. He's hard to get, but he's definitely worth the investment if you can. Going down even further, we're going to A tier, Uryu. Uryu is a character that's a little bit weird because he's not great until he hits, I think it's this attack. Is this the one that he gets the cool attack? Yeah. So that attack is what allows him to just start doing his rotations. So if you just keep on using that attack over and over, the enemy typically can't walk too close to you, and you can dodge around them anyway. So use that attack over and over until you hit about 30 of your Riryoku, and then you pop your third skill, which increases your MP recharge. So you'll get your MP back after using that anyway, and you just keep on doing the thing over and over. However, once he hits closer to rank 10 or so, he starts getting even more combos where you can just keep on pumping out attacks over and over, and then once you hit the end of your Riryoku, you pop the third attack, gain all your MP back, and just start your combo over again. For PvE or for division battles, like the division activity stuff, he is by far one of the best characters. The reason I use A tier is because for PvP, he is basically useless and will not use the attacks you want him to use, nor will he do the combos that you care about, so he just kind of fades in the background. So he's definitely not good for investing for PvP, but PvP is only part of 2 or 3 of the activities in this game, versus PvE, which is most of them. So it's definitely something that's worth investing in. I do say that Soifon is more of a priority, but Uryu, once you get up to the higher tiers and everything is starting to become gold, he's definitely one of the ones you want to focus on. Then I said Hitsugaya. Hitsugaya, I'd say he's good as an A tier. His freezing's definitely quite strong. He's pretty easy to get. If you pay $1, you can get him for free. Except in AWAKEDEATH. AWAKEDEATH, you'll get Byakuya, which is a better character. But in general, I find him to be quite strong. He's a glass cannon that can pump out burst damage. However, once he gets his burst damage of all 3 attacks off, he'll have no Riryoku left. You have to run away. Otherwise, you're just going to get destroyed. Typically, what you want to focus on him is doing the triple attacks. So basically, dash, dash, jab up. So if I go ahead and show this. Single dash, and then stab. However, after that, you'll only have 10 Riryoku left, and you're going to want to run away. Or you want to start using your normal attacks, which normal attacks have about a 40% chance of dealing freeze, which actually is really good if you're trying to pull off something in PvP, or you're trying to stun the enemy to be able to get them to a good point. Obviously, there's characters that do that better, but he is a quite good character. Typically, he's only good for early game. So if you're able to get him to Bankai early game and get him to be he'll be one of your top characters above like all of these ones for a while. Obviously, when you start hitting gold and getting stronger and stronger, hitting level 55 or so, he'll fade into the background until he's basically useless. But he definitely is a good starting character to try and focus on and kind of work with. Ryuken, personally, I said he's A tier because of his Daily Schneider attack, the one where he summons all of his things and becomes invulnerable. I've had him sweep entire teams via it and not get hit at all because, hey, they can't attack you when you're invincible. Same thing though, once you start hitting gold, there's characters that combo better and definitely are able to get some more work done. Like all the characters I basically talked about above this were late game characters. So this is one of the ones where if you pull them early, you can definitely use them in Plunder. You can definitely, not Plunder, you definitely use them inside Purgatory, you definitely use them inside stuff like that, but like, in general, you won't be using him on PvP team nor PvE. He's just kind of like, oh, this Plunder will, or this Purgatory will only let me use these characters. I guess he's one of my best ones. I'll use him. There's the current one, the main characters you can use. The ones I've been using is Hitsugaya, Ryuken, and Byakuya. The combo is amazing and actually works out really well for trying to get everything done. They can actually defeat like Rangiku, Pantirukia, and Orihime teams with no issues at all. We have Shika Rukia. Now, I find that apparently she, from what I've seen of her in the gameplay that I've seen, her freezing is much more efficient and helpful in terms of what she's doing. Plus, she has better AoEs than Hitsugaya, so I definitely find that she's above Hitsugaya in terms of that. The issue is her damage isn't the highest, and she's also a lot more difficult to obtain because you have to buy it from the ranking store, which the ranking store, at this point, people usually prioritize Zangetsu because he's one of the best characters. I've been trying to get her on Awakedeath so I can see what her attacks are and kind of see how good she is. But obviously, Zangetsu is one of the ones that you're going to want to spend the most on, and it'll take a while before you're able to get Shikai Rukia. By the time you get Zangetsu, you're not going to need her. So that's why she's kind of just lower, and she's like lower A tier, because like she's a good character, but there's no efficient way to get her. And then once you do get her, if you focus Zangetsu first, she's basically useless. Whoops. Then one of the ones I was talked about is I think that White is another A tier. I was thinking S tier maybe. He definitely has some of the coolest attacks, and obviously when he hits higher ranks, he has some of the best combos. If I go ahead and go to ranking, you can see that White is the strongest one here because he is actually really good at comboing. He is very strong. He's just a very good boy, and I definitely think that he is one of the most fun characters to play. So I definitely say, I'd say low S tier, but everyone else kind of talked about how he just is focused on juggling, and if you don't have a team that's efficiently based on that, then it's kind of hard. I've seen teams with White, Yamamoto, and Ichigo that are incredible. That are the best, scariest teams to fight, because your team can't do anything, and you just keep on getting comboed and comboed and comboed, and then you're dead. And that's it. So definitely worth investing in. He's one of these stronger characters, and definitely one of the more efficient in terms of both PvP and PvE, so I'd say go for it. This next one I strongly disagree with. Mayuri, we said that he's low A tier. He is the best healer in the game, however, that doesn't make him good. Healers are very anti-meta right now. People basically just go for damage just because it doesn't really work. I think he gets healing on the later tiers, but like, I just don't really enjoy playing as him. I've seen he gets quite scary when he can just keep on poisoning, and like he has his Bankai which can stun them or make them have to block, and their armor breaks. But in general, I just find there's a lot better characters that do what he does. Like Yamamoto, he'll just crush the enemy with burn instead of poison, and that's it. They're done. Then obviously I said the rest of this list, Ukiura, because he's so hard to obtain. I said he's A tier, but he is an SS tier if you're able to get him and spend the money, because you're a pay to win. Fuck a goddamn whale. Yeah, it's fine. B tier, I said that where is it? Where is he? Where's my boy? Where's my boy here? I said Ginichimaru is B tier. The reason why he's B tier is because his attacks aren't really based on PvP. In PvP, he's basically useless. Even his AoE attacks, he never uses it, and he basically just dashes in with his first strong attack, which is this one, and then doesn't really do much from there. And then when he becomes rank 6, which is purple, this attack, this second strong attack, gains a thing where he knocks them up, like the first attack, and then he starts shooting them in the air. But the shoot really makes him really difficult to use, because if he uses the shoot and the enemy didn't get knocked up in the air, because sometimes people have like invulnerability or they aren't getting it knocked up because using a skill, he basically is just stuck there taking damage, and it's really bad. I've seen gameplay of like rank 12 Hueco Gin, and like he gets good shit. He gets really strong. However, I will say that the investment is quite a lot. He's definitely one of the later things you want to get. He's also, even when he's top tier, rank 12, he's still not that good for PvP. He's mainly a PvE character based on juggling, which is good. He definitely has a lot of AoEs and definitely a lot of strong attacks that are quite good. He has the slash across the screen, which does like the big crack, which is cool. Yeah, I definitely say he's one of the ones that I would focus on focus on after Ichigo, Uryu, and White. I definitely say he's the next one I would go for after that list. Byakuya is one of those ones that is like, okay, you're going to get him up immediately. That's just one of the ones that everyone loves, and he's just really strong. So I'd say he's above Gin as well. Probably above Uryu, to be honest. But yeah. Alright, I'm just going to fire through all these and kind of explain them if in the comments if you guys kind of question it, because this video is getting quite long and I don't really have much reasoning for most of these characters because it's just kind of like, oh, these guys are bad. Orihime's next B tier. I said that she's quite good, and her heal when she gets to about rank 10 or 12, when she form changes, starts doing damage, and she's invulnerable while she does it. So if you're trying to do PvP, it's definitely worth a thing. And I think that if you mess in her defense, she's actually gonna not die at all and just kind of lame it out. It's really, really strong. This attack turns into like a star thing where it does like a little combo and stun locks them in the air, which is really good for juggling. Definitely in an Ichigo, White, and her team is really, really good. I think that she's great for late game. However, for early game or investment, I think that healers are very anti-meta right now, and I think that there's nothing really worth investing in there for Orihime. Sado, tank, not much damage. He struggles to even kill like a single healer by herself. Duel of Fate is a pain in the ass when you try and do him. You'll feel it if you're trying to fight Orihime. He's just a pain. Kenpachi, great early game. Once he hits rank 9, people outclass him very easily, and he becomes basically useless. Yoruichi, she's a better version of Soifon until rank 10, then is worse, and I think that she doesn't have much use. Her attacks are kind of cool. She has like an away thing, which you can use to lame out people. This thing will shoot from across the level. This will... Basically, she gets combos after she does that and starts doing like air combos. It's really, really strong, but it's just alright. Lightning, she just does an AoE. It's not that great. Unohana, trash tier, probably second worst healer in the game. She's just kind of alright. She just does things, and she kind of makes a puddle of like mud, which don't really do much. It's just, they call it toxic blood, but it's useless. I don't think that she's a very good character at all. However, there are worse characters. Shinsui and Jushiro. We were kind of arguing this one a little bit. I think these two together in PvP, stop beeping, are amazing. In PvE alone, they're kind of shitty because Jushiro lacks any invincibility on his attacks, and I just think that his attacks are majorly based on trying to stun, but he doesn't really have the damage that can deal stuff. However, Shinsui is based on damage, doesn't really have the stun. So together, they end up making this really good combo of just high damage, stun, and just go back and forth. It's really, really strong, but alone, they're kind of lower on the list. C tier, Pansy Rukia, I think she's horrible to invest in. She's a bad character. She gets a form change. I don't even know what it is because no one levels her up because she's actually really bad. She has a stun, which is good for early game, but after a certain tier, you have a lot better characters. Hell, Yami I find is actually better than her in terms of stunning. I also call her Panty Rukia because if you go ahead and see her first attack, her panties show when she like leans back. It's bad. Renji, he just doesn't do anything right. Oh, he does things right. He just doesn't do anything well. He just kind of is an all-around kind of trash tier waifu. Ikaku is really, really bad. I don't even know where he is. He's somewhere here. Ikaku is really, really bad. I'm gonna rank him up here. I find that he is really, really bad until he gets his Bankai stuff. But even once he gets his Bankai stuff, he's still not great. He's the heaviest hitter in the game. However, he doesn't really have good combos, nor like a good source of like his attacks don't really do much. He has the obvious spin around his head thing where he does like the big damage, but like other than that, he doesn't really have much that carries him. He's definitely not worth investing in, I think. He's just kind of a side thing to level up. It's not really much. Yumichika has his biggest combo is second attack over and over. His biggest combo is just use this attack over and over and over and over and over and over, and that's it. He has nothing else. He has nothing else to drive him forward. He's just kind of like, he does high damage, so I guess that works. That's it. He's just an annoying thing to run into in Soul Trial. That's it. That's all you got. Tosen, I think that he's really good. The only reason why he's C tier... No, I don't think he's very good. The only reason why he's C tier is because his third strong attack when you become rank 6 turns into his silencing Bankai, which takes away all the enemy's SP, and makes them unable to use any strong attacks at all, and the entire screen becomes black. Doesn't really matter that much, but yeah. Other than that, his attacks are very lackluster. This attack where he goes and sets fire does like nothing. I don't think it does a very big area, and also people can just dash through it and be fine. This attack right here inflicts bleed, which is alright. It's kind of like a burn. But he disappears from the level and is unable to do any combos out of it, so there's no real point to doing it. Also, if the enemy's on the ground, they don't really get hit by it, so it's kind of useless. So typically, I would only use him on a team that's based on trying to stun the enemy or silence them. Other than that, he's not really good, and he doesn't really excel in anything. Yachiru, I don't even need to say anything. She's just a worse Kenpachi, and you know, Kenpachi wasn't even that good. Yami, I say he's stronger than Rukia. But still a horrible character. I hear he gets a couple of new skills later on. Doesn't make him any better. He's just bad. Urahara. Where is this boy? This guy, he's a little bit alright. His second attack is definitely his only redeeming factor. Because if you go ahead and see this, it goes ahead and pushes them back and makes them have a lot of trouble, especially if they're AI. This one, it kind of, I think that one stuns the enemy. No, it burns the enemy. I think this one's the one that like knocks them back. Yeah, okay, that's the one that is stunning them. Everything else is kind of useless. The third attack, the one where he sets the thing on the ground and blows them up, it doesn't stun them. It doesn't do much damage, and it doesn't really do much. I find if I'm fighting Urahara, I have no trouble unless they keep on spamming the second strong attack, which is the Chikasumi no Tate. But even that, you could dash around and kind of be fine. So he's just not a good character. He doesn't really have anything that pushes him forward and makes him a lot stronger. Rangiku, a character that's very easy to obtain. However, she doesn't really have anything that is like, oh, that's good. Her basic stuff is based around healing, invulnerability, and destroying armor, like destroying blocks. However, AI doesn't block much. There's no real hard carry on her because there's no proper way to be like, oh, hey, she can be good against this character because they don't really block at all. Obviously this one right here, you can go ahead and see that she has a tornado. This tornado is based on destroying guard. If someone gets hit by it while they're guarding, they'll lose it, but that's it. Doesn't really do much damage or anything. She becomes invulnerable here, and it's not much. It just kind of stands there. And this one reduces speed, which is alright. Not the best. And I think this one actually starts healing after you get her to a certain tier. But it's definitely not worth investing in unless you're just leveling her up on the side because you got her things from exploration and you're like, I may as well. But yeah. D tier. I'm just gonna quick fire these. I said Sajin because he does shitty stuns, doesn't really do much, and he doesn't really have any redeeming factors. His stuns are cool, but he knocks them down on the ground, and when they're on the ground, they just kind of take no damage, and it's hard to pick them back up. Shuhei, I don't even know where the fuck Shuhei is. Where's my boy? I think I have him somewhere. Yeah, he's on my higher like levels, but like he's not much. He doesn't really do much. His attacks are very lackluster. He doesn't really have any AoEs. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then it's just kind of does nothing. He doesn't really have any big thing, and that's typically what makes the character good. Hiyori, she just kind of shoots and attacks and slashes. Also, she has an attack where she just uses this. That's it. She uses her slipper and hits them in the face. It's really bad. Shinji, he just doesn't have anything. He reverses their controls, but that's it. AI doesn't even matter anyway. Kensei, I don't even need to say anything. He's just a worse version of Chad. Izuru, the reason why I chose Izuru to be on such a low tier is because he only has this shitty healing to redeem him, but the healing is based on a 10% flat increase versus Orihime, which is based on about 20% over time, which is far better. His attacks don't really combo out each other, and also when he becomes like purple tier and above, he doesn't really have anything that like gives him anything. When his Tenren levels up, the increase in power that it says is that he's here and does a tornado, and then he dashes a little bit forward. I don't even know what it's supposed to do. I don't even see the combo out of it. He's just bad. He's the worst healer in the game. Then on the lowest tier, we have Ganju and Momo. No combos, horrible characters, not fun to play as, just a generally bad time. And that's it for what we have here in terms of the characters that I try to go through. This is only for the AWAKEDEATH version. Obviously, there's going to be more characters added later. Obviously, there's going to be an updated list at some point. However, I am going to say that definitely invest in the characters that are S tier, SS tier, and just kind of go like that. I'm going to say this video is over. I'm glad I kind of got to go through this with everyone. If you guys have any input on characters and why some stuff makes them better, I would definitely appreciate to hear it, because I do want to update this list and make it a generally good thing. And just a little run through of what we went through. Personally, I think the best characters to invest in is Yamamoto, Ichigo, and rank 13 Byakuya. However, Byakuya himself is really good anyway. Those are the 3 best characters in my opinion. I would also say Aizen instead of Byakuya if you want to just kind of have a hardcore stun team. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned something. And I'm going to go ahead and see you guys next time.